thought for a second he got brake failure there, Josh, but I think, as you say, just braked far too late. He has regained the circuit now, but wet grass.
Way out in front, they're going through the S's with Ruddle and Nelson. It's very close for 4th place though, as they make their way through. It's after Lockett that made his way back into what is 4th position. But that group of cars behind the 3 leaders, quite far behind them, they are having a good battle amongst themselves. Andrew Thompson, I think it was 8 seconds slower than people like qualifying. Dry conditions, that gap I don't think is as large, but it's Carlson that leads at the end of 1 lap of this 30-minute race. Andrew Thompson is second as the cars charge down the centre straight. It's a gap of 3.5 seconds between Arles and Thompson. Richard Plant is there in 3rd. It's a big old gap to the rest, which is led by car number 6. And Simon All began to 4th place. 5th is Stephen Lockett. In 6th position is Phil Thomas, and Thomas is going to challenge Lockett into Richie's corner. He goes up the inside and goes through. So into 5th place there goes Phil Thomas. Down to 6th goes Stephen Lockett. James Sumner is 7th. 8th is Brett Syndicum. 9th is Philip Sinclair Tinstall. And in 10th position is Peter Sargent. So that's how the top 10 end.
Bellinger resumes in 16th place.
So we'll watch out for see how Jack gets back through. He's 4th in the overall championship, tying actually with Craig Hamilton-Smith, who isn't here. He gets 8 points back. So if Bellinger could have won his class, he would have moved to 3rd in the championship, but that off has dropped him way back. He's now 4th within Class D. Leaders, they're already exiting the infield here, aren't they? It's up to the pace of these fast 3 cars.
Yeah, I'm having to get used to this because I haven't seen the 300 circuit in action before, so I'm trying to work out exactly where the cars are, and we have many television screens in this commentary box to try and keep you up to date with what's happening on all parts of the circuit, so it's just trying to get my eye on the right place at the moment.
It's side by side for Class D honours going through Oggy there. James Sumner just holding on ahead of Brett Syndicum. A good battle for Class D there, which is the battle of step over 22 and 16, both in the 4.4 Morgans, the 4-cylinder cars, which I've been told this morning actually quite difficult to drive driving the damp. They've got a lot more torque than the V8s, low end torque, so therefore they will spin up a lot easier. But these dry conditions, those cars are like engine cars with back into a bit more. So the lead is the V8 car for Pete Arles, and it's a 6-cylinder of Andrew Thompson, still in 2nd ahead of Richard Plant. So referencing qualified, we were doing 2 minutes 24 for Arles in the dry. Now it's a 2 minute 8, a 2:08.6 for Arles the leader. He's extended his lead gap out to 6 seconds. Andrew Thompson and Richard Plant are doing very similar lap times in 2nd and 3rd. They're about a second apart after a couple of laps. 4th still is Simon All began. So he is going well there in P4. And 5th is Phil Thomas. In 6th position, coming through is Philip Sinclair Tinstall. 7th is Stephen Lockett. He's lost a couple of positions. Brett Syndicum did get ahead of James Sumner to take the Class D lead. And then in 10th position is Peter Sargent. Tony Hurst comes through he hasn't come through yet. Tony Hurst, who's trying to win the championship, has dropped to 14th. But he's still going, and he actually still leads his class. So he's been passed by a number of drivers, including Jack Bellinger, remember, who went off on the first lap. He's recovered to 12th now, and doing lap times which are pretty much even with his class leaders, but those class leaders are about 12 seconds ahead of him. The leaders outright, 2nd and 3rd are closer, aren't they? Andrew Thompson's been caught by Richard Plant on this lap. They're just going out onto the Bentley straight. The big gap back to the rest. Simon All began. He's at Agostini. But for the slightly slower cars, Paul, they're much more closely bunched than the big fast cars at the front.
Yeah, side by side there at the moment. Not sure who that is.
It could be Stephen Lockett and Brett
Syndicum, I think. Yeah, side by side. Oh, one of them's gone off.
That's Lockett.
Lockett, yeah, big moment there. He's gathered it up, and I don't think he's going to. So he's got Sumner right behind him, isn't he, in the yellow car.
Meanwhile, for second position overall is nose to tail pretty much now, heading up towards Coram Curve, because Richard Plant has caught Andrew Thompson. In the slightly smaller engined car is Thompson. It's a bigger engine car. Plant, although being in Class A, is a 4-cylinder, but a much more modified engine car for Richard Plant. And now heading on a bit more straight line speed possibly than Andrew Thompson. They come across the line. There's nothing that's going to separate them. By the end of the straight, Plant is getting a bit closer again, but unable to challenge into Richard. That's a good battle now between Andrew Thompson and Richard Plant. Third and second between.
New fastest lap for Keith Arnold.
So yes, we're now going 17 seconds quicker than qualifying. Although the cars behind have made much bigger improvements, because Andrew Thompson was on a 2:32 in qualifying, so he's going at 21 seconds quicker than what he managed this morning. And he's holding on to second place there, ahead of Richard Plant. Only now the rest of the field comes through. In fourth is still Simon Orbigan, fifth is Phil Thomas, and sixth is Philip Sinclair Tinstall. Brett Syndicum is now 7, and after that Stephen Lockett's lost some more positions, because he's dropped to 10th now behind Peter Sargent and James Sumner, so down to 10th for Stephen Lockett. It was going pretty well early on.
No change for second place at the moment. Pretty well matched in terms of performance, those two cars. Even though they've got different engines, they pretty much seem to have the same handling characteristics, the same sort of power characteristics. So at the moment, Richard Plant is trying hard in the blue car, but not able to do it at the moment, not able to get ahead of Andrew Thompson. So they're just heading onto the centre straight. Already we've got cars pretty much on every bit of the circuit, haven't we?
Absolutely, so we're going to be into lap traffic 2, not too far away, we're only on lap 4 of this race.
Keith Arnold is so much quicker than the slower back markers, they'll barely see him.
Side by side for second, Richard Plant sweeps around the outside of Andrew Thompson into the Brundle corner, the left-handed element of the exercise. Make use of the car park community where you can watch the racing by your cars up there. So good to see a number of people watching from there, and you saw that pass there where Richard Plant went round the outside of Andrew Thompson into Brundle, and now he's ahead. We shall see if he can pull away.
Yeah, I think, as we said before, the cars are so evenly matched that I don't think he will be able to pull away. Certainly their lap times are very similar. We'll see what the lap times are this time. Keith Arnold goes even quicker at 2:06.8. Keith's just out enjoying himself, really. Across the line.
Second row, Thomas on the 5th row, so Phil Thomas has made good progress through this race. He's 6th in the championship, coming here to Snetterton in Phil Thomas. And what has happened to Simon Orbigan is for the pit lane, so from 3rd position Simon Orbigan is into the pits. So a problem there for him. He had a good result at Silverstone last month, a couple of months ago, where he was on the podium, but he won't be here today at Snetterton because into the pits. So Phil Thomas now is up into 4th place.
Yeah, and it looks as if Richard Plant is going quicker on this lap. He's pulled about 6 or 7 cars lengths now on Andrew Thompson, so looks pretty much as if he's got second place sewn up, and we're about a third of the way through this race.
Yes, 10 minutes done.
So Keith Arnold potentially he could lap nearly the whole field.
Yeah,
he's certainly going to lap everybody except Plant and Thompson, I think.
It looks that way, doesn't it? Because
some of them several more times.
In 4th place, Phil Thomas is already 50 seconds behind. So he's 4th now off that stop before we began. That's promoted to 5th. Philip Sinclair Tinstall, he's 3.5 seconds behind Phil Thomas. But Syndicum leading Class D is there in 6th, a further 2.5 seconds back, but lapping pretty well. In 7th position is Peter Sargent. In 8th position is James Sumner. In 9th position is Stephen Lockett, and up to 10th now is Jack Bellinger, the car that went off on lap 1. Keith Arnold's done another lap again in the 6s. So the first clear lap this has been for the new 2nd place car, Richard Plant. When he was behind Andrew Thompson, he was in the 10s. Now he's in front of him. he is actually lapping slower, much slower lap for some reason on that lap for Richard Plant, which means Andrew Thompson isn't fallen away. Well, Keith Arnold is on the same pace, isn't he?
And they're both much in the same place, so relative to each other, so they mustn't have simultaneous.
Back out the pit lane has gone Simon Orby-Gow, but he's dropped to the back now after his stop of nearly a couple of minutes.
We see the blue flag waved by the marshals, so that means lap 3 is underway.
And the first car to get back is number 47, that is Peter Raptor with his +8. Across the line now comes Phil Thomas. He is still 4th, but being caught by Philip Sinclair Tinstall, who was about a second quicker on the last lap. Both of them being caught by Brett Syndicum. So for 4th place, Phil Thomas, Philip Sinclair Tinstall and Brett Syndicum are all coming together. There's about 4.5 seconds at the moment between them, but we shall watch that gap in the second half of this race. In 7th position is Pete Sargent, he's come through now in 8th James Sumner, 9th is Stephen Lockett and 10th is Jack Bellinger. A big gap to the race, but there's a 4-car battle for 11th place being led by the Aero 8 of Greg Parnell. In 12th position is Peter Cole, in 13th position is Paul Bryan, and in 14th position is Robert Gilmore. 15th position looking to win the championship is Tony Hurst, probably one of the most circumspect races of the season, but Tony Hurst good for the championship there, although being in 15th position. In 16th, just been lapped, is James Sumner. So Keith Arnold has lapped everybody up to 15th. So the next car that Keith Arnold is going to win, going to lap, is champion-elect Tony Hurst.
Yeah, Keith has slowed down very slightly, but not very much, 2:07 that time. So his times will fluctuate now as he has to weave his way past the back markers, but not a huge number of cars on this very long circuit. But when he comes up to that 4-car battle in the teens, which isn't going to be long, is it, Josh? That will be his most difficult bit of lappery, I think.
A much slower lap for the 3rd place car, Andrew Thompson, potentially struggling through the traffic, a 2:18 for him, so he's dropped well away from Richard Plant, a 6-second gap between 2nd and 3rd now. So that looks like the moment the podium position is pretty settled, I think, to be passed. And 4th place cars, the battle of the 4th headed through Vom Hall up towards Coram Curve. It's still Phil Thomas there in 4th. In 5th position is catching the cars. You've got these different class cars, class J for Thomas, class C for Sinclair Tinstall, and class D for Syndicum. And across the line comes Phil Thomas. He's got a good gap there, but between 5th and 6th it's coming down because Sinclair Tinstall was 1.7 seconds ahead of Syndicum on the previous lap, and that gap has come down to 1.4 seconds. All 3 of them actually lapping in the 19th, so all 3 of them going pretty much as quick as they have done all race long. So they're improving their pace as they race amongst one another. Meanwhile, for 8th and 9th and 10th it's pretty close now too, because James Sumner's been caught by Stephen Lockett, who's looking up the inside, and catching them both is Jack Bellinger, who went off on lap 1.
Yeah, it's quite a good battle, isn't it? Picking himself to probably brakes weren't hot enough or whatever, and they might have grabbed, and that was what put him off onto the grass. So a comeback drive there.
He's racing a different car to what he has. His usual car. He's been racing for 27 years. Got driven under in the safety car at Silverstone, driven into. It's taken quite a lot of repairs. We switched to this other car that he has, and potentially just car pack's not quite as used to there on lap 1 as he went for a moving workout.
I mean, normally the Morgan drivers just get the big hammer out, straighten the chassis, and I've seen that certainly at speed events where people have damaged chassis, and that's turned into a very close battle now again.
And the battle is changed because Stephen Lockett's got past James Sumner. Sumner and Bellinger are in a class battle in class D, and Bellinger this time goes out the outside. This is what he did on lap 1. This time he's got the car stopped, he's got right round the outside and gains a position, goes ahead of James Sumner.
So that takes him up to 8th, is it?
9th, because Sumner's been passed by both Lockett and Bellinger on that. Meanwhile, the 3 leaders come through. Arlen is now half a minute ahead of the race. Now you can kind of tell he's done modern racing here because Keith Arlen's through the track traffic is a lot quicker than compared to his best, compared to the other two. He's hardly losing anything, where both Plant and Thompson are 3 or 4 seconds slower through the traffic. So he's half a minute ahead of Plant now, with 8 seconds ahead of Plant.
Under 14 minutes to go, so Keith Arlers is, I think, going to lap pretty much the whole field.
I think James Sumner might have got back past Jack Bellinger down the Bentley straight by the looks of things. So they come through Forum Curve, they've switched around again. James Sumner back ahead of Jack Bellinger, back to second within Class D behind Brett Syndicum, who has already completed another lap and has actually caught Philip Sinclair Tinstall for fifth. So fifth and sixth together now too, Sinclair Tinstall and Syndicum. But here comes Sumner and Bellinger to complete another lap. That's 7 laps done. In the slipstream is Bellinger of Sumner, and now dives to the inside line for Richie's corner, and he gets there. A very quick corner in Richie's, but Bellinger there later on the brakes and goes back through. So that's a good battle that's developed into.
That's a good move, that. It's not easy to get out. Still get your braking done, and you run the danger of taking the car that you're overtaking off because you drift wide. So we won't see many people during the day get past there like that, I don't think.
Yeah, sometimes you get alongside of the big slipstream down towards Richie's, but that was more in the braking zone, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. It was a very late move.
And yeah, he's now started
and he's hung on to it, so that's a place made up, and I'm not sure that he's going to come under threat for that place again now.
So Jack Bellinger can go after 8th place driver, which is Stephen Lockett. So Lockett is 78, 17 is Bellinger, 22 is Sumner. Keith Arlers has done 8 laps now with 12 minutes to go. He's 37 seconds ahead of Richard Plant, who's about 8 ahead of Andrew Thompson. Slightly quicker on that last lap was Thompson, but the gap is pretty large to Richard Plant. So that's how the top 3 continue to sit. 4th, that should be Phil Thomas, and then coming through the SE through and Nelson. The 5th and 6th, that's a class between Philip Sinclair Tinstall and Brett Syndicum. They're in traffic too as they turn their way into the bomb hole. They're side by side trying to lap this slower car, and I think Brett Syndicum's gone up to 5th ahead of Philip Sinclair Tinstall. So it's been a good drive by the Class D driver, Brett Syndicum, who qualified down off the bridge. Wrong drive from him, passing some of the more potent machinery here at Snetterton for Brett Syndicum. So I think he's got into 5th ahead of Philip Sinclair Tinstall in the traffic into the bomb hole. Again, not really a place you dare often see passes, but assisted by the traffic, and car number 16 is through into 5th place, but has a bit more
power.
power.
Under attack again as they go down the straight. This time I can't see him overtaking the side. Hangs on to the place.
In 7th position is still Peter Sargent, and slowing there in 8th position of Stephen Lockett. No, he's not slowing, is he? That's being passed by Keith Arlers. That's a speed differential.
It just looks as if he's standing still, yeah.
So still in 8th position is Lockett, 1.5 seconds ahead of Jack Bellinger and James Sumner 10th. And then this battle for 11th has continued. They're a lap down now with your 4 cars involved in the battle for 11th position. Greg Parnell, Peter Cole, Paul Bryan and Richard Robert
very
Gilmore.
close. See who's ahead at the moment.
That's the back of 5th, isn't it? Brett Syndicum was 5th.
5th, yeah, I think it's Syndicum still ahead.
That's Sinclair Tinstall, Philip Sinclair Tinstall behind. But you can see that the Class C car, Sinclair Tinstall, I think it's got a little bit more power, hasn't it? And that's why we saw that challenge down towards Richie's.
No challenge at the moment. But yeah, I think those 2 cars, as you say, have got slightly different power characteristics, slightly different handling characteristics on different parts of the circuit. So the gap oscillates, but just the speed differential between Keith Arlers and the cars he's lapping is just amazing. And of course, we'll see the same thing in the BCV8s after lunch, because the engines in the full race BCV8s are the same as Keith Arlers' V8 engine in the Morgan, up against the standard force in the cars in BCV8. So the passing distances both in the Morgans relatively
that back of led Syndicum held on. They're hard to tell. We can tell that when they come to the end of the lap, difficult to tell, especially we've got similar shaped and liveries of cars on the screens, if any conditions change. There's still Phil Thomas ahead of them in 4th position, so he's held on to 6 6 seconds to the cars behind for sure. Brett Syndicum has held on to 5th, but what was 6 seconds to Thomas becomes 3.7, so a much quicker lap there from Syndicum as he tries to chase after Phil Thomas, and as you suggested, Paul, before they're on Keith Arnold's going to lap everybody apart from those on the podium. He does another fast lap of the race despite going through traffic. 2 minutes 6.09 now for Keith Arnold.
He's just loving this, he's just enjoying himself. I know when I've spoken to him before at the end of these races, he just says he just loves it, the car's wonderful and he'll go as fast as he can.
Jack Bellinger's doing that move again into Richie's up the inside, this time on Stephen Lockett. This time it doesn't work for 8th position. Lockett holding on ahead of Bellinger, and they're both catching the car of Peter Sargent. So 7th, 8th and 9th, only separated by about a second and a half now. So as we say, the top 3 might be quite spread out, but the battles behind are pretty decent.
It's closed up in an interesting way, hasn't it, after that damp practice this morning.
That group
so
from 11
I think,
he's lapping the Syndicum and
that's right. He's just lapped the battle for 5th and 6th, so he's already lapped everybody except 1, 2, 3 and 4, I think.
Yeah, Phil Thomas not that far ahead, so he's going to be lapped on this lap 2, and then it's just Plant and Thompson who shouldn't get lapped in 2nd and 3rd on that lead lap. 6 seconds now between Richard Plant and Andrew Thompson. Thompson lapping slightly quicker, but not fast enough, I don't think, to catch.
No, that gap's out to 6.5 seconds. No.
Yeah. And you say, so sort of Arnold's leads by almost half a lap to those two, and then those two about half a lap ahead of Phil Thomas, closer. Down over promising and Tinsley quite close, and then get back to Sargent, Lockett, Bellinger and Sumner are on quite a tightly spread too.
So just 7 minutes, just under 7 minutes to go in this race, so we're going to get possibly 4 more laps for Keith Arnold. It depends when he crosses the line, I think. Might be 3 more laps.
Arnold should be coming to the end of his lap now. Might squeeze 4 further laps in, won't he? Just, which isn't ideal for the timetable. As he goes across the line, 2 minutes 7, he has lapped Phil Thomas now, so it's 3 cars on the lead lap. By the way, Tony Hurst still leads his class, so Tony Hurst still good for the championship, despite being right near the back of the field at 15th. Change for 5th because Philip Sinclair Tinstall's gone back ahead of Brett Syndicum. So a personal best lap from Sinclair Tinstall has moved him back ahead of Brett Syndicum. That has turned into. Syndicum isn't quite doing enough to win the Class D championship. That battle he's having with Jack Bellinger. Bellinger, this is going to be 3 across the circuit. That's Stephen Lockett, Jack Bellinger and James Sumner, and it's a